Going to hit the pause button now to bring in our guest, trial attorney Michael Jaafar. Michael, thank you for joining us, of course. Listen, this is a hard verdict for some to accept, manslaughter versus murder. And I think the opening by the state showed that the state really was heartbroken or upset physically, emotionally by the verdict, but also this victim making it very clear to me that the devastation his own son, the son of the victim, has suffered, and that he has to go deliver the verdict so that he can even begin the grief process.
This is why you can't see this type of testimony during a trial, only during a sentencing. And I'll be honest with you, Judge Ashley, I was totally flummoxed with that verdict. I think the jury got it right, but I was flummoxed because last week when I looked at this trial, we saw a video of a woman being executed, right? She was executed by the defendant. And for the jury, I love this jury must have, I wish I was a fly on the wall in that jury to see how they got to the conclusion. I agree with their conclusion. This is insanely confusing in a good, I can't believe that this jury reached this verdict. I'm happy they did. We saw her get executed, and now this man's going to have to deliver the verdict to his son, who, according to him, has autism. It's a very, very, very sad situation. But wow, this jury was novel. They took the defense. I thought there was no chance that this would happen, and it did. So
Mike,
kudos to them.
You say you agree with the verdict.
Right.
Explain.
Right.
Here's why I agree with it. I agree with the verdict because I always believe that we go way too far in our country with sentencings. Obviously, if he was convicted of first-degree murder and especially premeditated murder, I would agree that the sentencing should be harsh. But even then, I just think throwing somebody away for 50, 60 years, clearly this person had, the jury bought. You know, he got on the stand. He testified. They bought his story. They bought what he was saying. They felt that he was credible. That he felt that he was captured in this relationship. He had his superior officer. He felt that he was abused. I mean, the jury bought it. So I'm going to defer to them only for that reason, Michael. But if you ask me, I wouldn't have predicted they would do it. But I have to just defer to them for that reason only.
Right,
okay, that is. You respect the jury verdict,
we absolutely
which
do.
we do.
Yeah, don't misjudge anything we're saying for our viewers out there. Even though we might not agree with it, we certainly respect what the jury did there. Like I said, they were in the courtroom, they heard the testimony. All right, Michael, stand by. We're going to take a break. All right, folks, before we head back to court, let's bring back in trial attorney Michael Jaafar to discuss. Michael, I got to go back to the cousin/brother. We all have somebody like that in our family, the cousin that's like a brother, so you understand his sentiments, but I've never seen anything like that.
Never. I was shocked. Thank God he wasn't in the same room as me when I did my prior take earlier in the show, because he probably would have punched me and I would have deserved it. You know,
agreed.
Nobody even objected. Yeah. I know. And you know, I'm still flummoxed because here's the thing. This jury, it required more bravery, more courage from them to render the verdict they did than the verdict we predicted we expected them to render, right? And so I think you saw that surprise in his face and really in his shoulders. And he looked like he would break through a wall. He was angry. He was foaming. And us, as a society, we all expected them to come back guilty in premeditated murder, right? We saw a woman get executed. I mean, I'm still shocked. I'm still processing it, and he clearly processed it in his own way. And man, I've served our country exactly 0 times on deployment. He did it 7 times. So honestly, he had a basis. He felt entitled to say what he said, and I believe that he had every right to say what he said. It was intimidating. This whole thing is just a bizarre experience. I still can't believe it happened.
So if you're the defense, what are you going to do to try to now say, okay, double down, jury, give us only 10 years. Now that you've said manslaughter, it's 10 to 20, we want 10 years. How would you do that?
You're going to have to pivot after what you just saw in the room, and the defense attorney. If I ever meet this defense attorney, I'm going to give him a hug for how brilliant he is, because he got up and he told that guy, "Look, I want to thank you for your service and sorry for your loss." So I would pivot in that way, Judge Ashley, by saying, "Look, at the end of the day, your instincts were correct. You gave this verdict, manslaughter instead of murder, and the way you would pivot is really have as many witnesses as possible before they issued their sentence, and hope that you can come back from what just happened." It's the only way to do it.
We're going to see if they do, because right now the mother of the defendant is on the stand. First witness for the defense. Let's go back into court.